Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Desmond Ridder, big win. Fired up for this one. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of this channel. Not only is it a great, cheap way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. The link is in the video description. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. All right, Desmond Ridder, nice win versus the Texans. Getting it going here. We're going to throw it to the number 3 Pitts on what I'm going to call it a corner into a post wheel. Not sure if I've ever seen this combination before necessarily. Getting 4 eligibles out to a side. Motioning from 2x2 to 1x3 nub. Looks like 12 personnel-ish. And this kind of a unique distribution, especially off the fake toss, you know, like a pseudo move the launch point. But this is a really nice job from Desmond Ridder. Again, I'm going to love feeding 8 and 5 as much as possible. But just the route distribution here. If we're going to be critical, and I think we can be critical on some of the play calling, specifically in the passing game with the Falcons up to this point, this post wheel to me is a pretty universal kind of 2-person combo. But when you add what I'm going to call as a corner here, you start getting what I would consider borderline muddy as far as where you're going to throw these balls, as far as potentially where this corner ends up, where this wheel ends up. And again, I think it's nice to be able to tether it off whatever this like fake toss, move the launch point, just a tick here to be able to let these things develop down the field. But it's just a unique distribution. It's a really nice throw from Desmond Ridder. We're throwing it down, driving it in that intermediate zone. I think he does this really well. Just excited to see more of it, more than anything else. But just check that distribution out up top. Post wheel corner, question mark. Works right here. Nice big chunk. Get us down inside the 10. Again, when it's paired also with this kind of cool, we'll call it pistol toss play action. Pretty unique. Nice rhythm to it. Get it out. Put it on him. Let's go. Next one here. Touchdown run. Desmond Ridder. Love it. Uses athleticism down in the red area. This is what I'm used to calling zone read lead or zone read escort. And really it's just C-gap defender. We're going to read him. And instead of the quarterback being out there by yourself, you bring that sniffer across 18 as that kind of lead blocker. So if that C-gap defender 52 goes under the sniffer on that split flow action, it's essentially a guaranteed quarterback keeper. So just a really nice design. You see this a lot in the league. I also think you see this as like just a little key as far as RPO world, as far as when you like jump this or juggle this back around. So we juggle the back. Here's the split flow action. It's that sniffer coming across, and he's going to usually bluff or kind of give a little move on the C-gap defender. That's your key read right there. If this player goes under the sniffer, the quarterback is almost always going to pull it, ride that thing, and then they're going to pull this thing, and we're going to be a race to the end zone. And it's just a really nice job of being able to essentially, the only guy you have to beat is whoever has the sniffer in man-to-man here, because everyone else is going to be blocked. So if someone runs with the sniffer in man, that person usually will not be blocked, and we got to race them to the pylon. So watch this thing play out. Motion, get to 3x1. There it is. Easy read, right? I mean, that 52 is crashing hard to tackle the dive or the back. It's a race to the pylon. Nice block on the edge. Big time touchdown run. Just a really nice job. Again, you can see it here. That C-gap defender, blue sleeves on the left. He's coming down hard. That's an easy pull read. Whoop. Now you've got that lead blocker for you. Touchdown. Let's go. Next one here, another really impressive throw from Desmond Ridder. We're going to work the over up top coming towards us to the bottom. It's paired with that deep flag or V route. Now, because that guy gets jacked, it gets muddied a little bit. But this throw is really impressive from the end zone shot here. You're essentially throwing it with 39 with his back turned. So as I like to say, he's only covering the width of his shoulders. Desmond Ridder sees it. I think Desmond Ridder throws this intermediate drive throw in rhythm really well. And again, you can see that over coming from left to right, right? So entering the screen, there it is. Coming across, you see the back of 39. All he's covering is the width of his shoulders. You can throw it anywhere as long as he doesn't look. Now, if he looked, it would be bad. but he doesn't look, and so it's a great throw. And that's the fine line of the league. And again, it's a little muddy because what happens down here at the bottom. So you see the corner come up. As soon as we shift back into this condensed I formation here, we're going to get this corner coming up. And then what I'm going to call is essentially a glorified clear, or kind of this big shot, whether you call it a V or a back pylon or a flag, it doesn't really matter. You're setting that and getting out of there. And then we're trying to get this over more often than not. Coming across, it's usually 20 and 20 at the numbers. So if you start on the numbers, you're trying to end up somewhere around the numbers. And again, 39 right here. So once he turns his back and starts running this way, he is only covering the width of his shoulders. Now you do have to be nervous that he's going to turn around eventually, but if you can get it as he's running back there, you got him. It's a hell of a job. Nice vision from Desmond Ridder. Again, nice design. Let it rip. He gets everything into that thing. I personally, and again, people freaked out on this channel about the footwork thing. But for me, it could come out a tick quicker with a little bit better, more consistent base. So it's nice at the top, right there. Just stay there. Don't this. And again, maybe he has to pretend he's from the warning track to let that thing rip. But I think if he just stayed with that base and threw it, it would be an even easier throw as opposed to getting close to 39. So again, you be the judge of just the timing of this with the footwork on the base. Boom, perfect. Maybe lined up to throw the flag. Stay there, throw the over. Don't go full karaoke here. Whoop, whoop. Still nice throw, big hookup. Next one here, 3rd and 5. Drop. We're going to eventually get to 3x1 here, 81 coming across on what I'm going to call the crosser. The 3 down here to the bottom. Put it right on the body on the break, whether that's an in or a basic or a crosser, it doesn't matter. Hit him in the damn hands. Now, again, my pet peeves bleed into this, obviously, because I'm doing the video. I don't love to see eligibles jump to catch it on their body. So just that little subtle jump right there to then catch it on your body, to me, you're moving your eyes. You're making life way harder on yourself. But for Desmond Ridder, watch him throw him open. So he lets him go right there. Again, that's throwing him into the first window's not there. First window would be right now out of the break. You got to wrap it around 39. It's 3rd and 5. Right on him. Can't catch it for him. Damn. So, again, really nice job from Desmond Ridder. So, it was a really nice day. 329. Could have been more. Okay, now the other part about this that I think it's just worth acknowledging is up top, what I would say are some potential limitations on this offense is just the ability to separate. So not only the top end speed, but just kind of the change of direction quickness that you see around the league a lot. So if we're going to run what I'm going to call this like in here, and we've got this little in or basic here where the ball ends up going. It looks like the design of this play is to try to get 5 on like a choice route right at the sticks. Now the thing about these choice routes that you see all across the league is not only do you have to be on the same page as the quarterback, so you can usually run in, hook up versus zone, run out with a 3-way, or some teams let you go to the slant or the post. Well, not only do you have to be a good decision maker out there, but you have to create some separation, dog. We got to go fast. There's got to be some twitch to you. There's got to be some change of direction. You watch that choice route. That he's a big guy and he's leaning into that thing, but there's no separation. That's tough. We can't be covered up like that on choice routes. We sure as hell can't be dropping balls other places. So we can say, and I think it's rightfully so with this film, Desmond Ridder, much improved, driving the ball down the field, can't catch it for him. And we got to have some more space. We got to have more winners out there. Next one here, 3rd and 3, another tough one. This one probably a turnover-worthy play. I like the design of this thing to start in quads, get to 3x1, essentially bunch. It looks like it's an option to 7 up top or a choice. Again, probably not my favorite choice route as far as I'm sure he can do it, but he doesn't look comfortable right here. He doesn't win. They do a nice job of clamping this thing to the bunch side or the 3 receiver side, and that very easily and probably should have been picked. So what am I talking about? I am talking about starting in quads, getting to bunch. Okay, they're going to get 4 eligibles out up top. So at the end of the day, where this thing ends up going is what I'm going to call this in route. So we're up and we're right here. Okay, it looks like it's paired with someone running a shallow. And then right here, 7 is going to run what I'm going to call a choice route. Now, who knows what they call it? It looks like you basically allow them to clear, take your time, and then you got to win. You can hook up, you can run out, you can run in, and some teams let you go to the slant. So this is normally the one if you're going to do this. So if this is the one, we got to win. We got to have somebody who can win. And the other part about this is just if we're going to clear this out and just go, okay, we've got 4 eligibles out over here, right? This is essentially like a little box, 4 eligibles over there. If they're going to take this weak safety in any 3x1 or bunch or quads set, and this guy's going to immediately go and hunt up the number 3 or the number 4 coming this way, we have got to win here. Have got to. You know, unless this is Darrelle Revis or Deion Sanders, we're throwing it. And so for me, just scheme-wise, if I'm being consistent and trying to be as objective as I can, running a quick out into press man is a tough look. Now, maybe he's supposed to convert it versus press. Maybe, you know, who knows? Only they know their offense. But it's a tough look because this is probably the matchup, and it's because he immediately leaves to go to the 4 eligible side. So it can be all of those things. First, let's watch the bottom. Press man, quick out. It's 3rd and 3. You're just not going to throw that. I know he wins. It looks like he wins. But a quick out versus press man is just not something that you see thrown damn near at any level of football. Okay, now watch that safety down here to the bottom, on the bottom hash. He immediately is hunting up the middle of the field and almost over commits to the ball. It's too early. Now let's watch the running back 7 with the choice route. Now, I get it. He's a dynamic, really good player, but it's not easy to come into the league and run choice or option routes on 3rd down. No good option right there, really. You're getting clamped. You hope that the back in the backfield can stretch that flat defender more than he is. It looks like he's like in like a half chill. You would love for him to like sprint wide. No good option. Really fortunate right there. That isn't a pick. So this to me really kind of sums up what I've thought of the Falcons passing game up until this game. And I think Ritter overcomes it in this game and has a great day. But the bones of this type of stuff have been here all season. And you're going to just need more consistent, better answers to play quarterback at a high level. This next one, by far my favorite play design I can recall seeing here in the first few weeks of the NFL season. The fullback, exit through the A gap, go catch a rail or a wheel up the sideline. And Ritter throws a seed. Again, I think he throws this intermediate drive ball as probably his best throw. But watch 40 in the backfield here. He's going to exit in the right A gap. I mean, it's a thing of beauty. I can't recall ever seeing that. It's actually kind of a like borderline, like audacious play call to ask him to exit through the A gap. Now, maybe he just sees it and takes it, but this is a beautiful design. We're essentially in 22 personnel, and we are going to run the number 1 up top on like a hook. So he's going to hook right here. Then we're going to ask the fullback to exit through the line of scrimmage, through like the offensive line. He actually goes through the A gap here and run a rail. And again, we've got a middle field safety. So you can't just chuck it up there like a punt. You've got to drive the ball. So it's just a beautifully driven ball. As far as when I say drive, I mean like line drive-ish. You can't throw like a go ball where you exit the screen and it drops down by the rafters. So it's beautiful scheme. It's outstanding execution. It's a gorgeous ball. It's pretty awesome. This is a straight up sweet play. Boom. I mean, holy man. I honestly can't recall ever seeing a fullback enter through the A gap for a vertical. That is beautiful. It really is. I mean, we can say all we want about the drop back stuff and potential issues with the perimeter and speed and quickness and separation. But dialing stuff up like this, I love to see it. Great fake, good pass protection. Again, in rhythm. Watch him hit that back foot. So talk about the base. Boom. Let it rip. Drive it. I mean, he throws it so fast it exits the screen on the end zone. Zoom. Dunk. Strike. Hell yes. Next one here, 3rd and 8. Another big time throw to the number 3 down here to the bottom. Beating Pitts to the corner. Again, a little bit of what I would classify as a unique design. And what I mean by that is the way we're getting to these sails or corners, is just not what I would say the traditional structure is. So I like seeing the innovation of it. It's kind of a unique coverage too, what I would say like a pressure combo coverage. Again, third down in the NFL, you're going to see exotics. So for me, where the ball ends up going right here is what I would call a corner or a sail. So up and out right here. That's not necessarily revolutionary from the number 3, but I think it is a little unique to run it with an inside fade clear. And then you pair that with what looks like kind of like almost a slant, shallow, or an under here. So you've got that 3 layers, but you're getting there in a unique way. Now, coverage-wise, what is unique, and it's third down in the league, you're going to see some crazy stuff. They are matched up man here. Sure looks like man here, right? Well, everywhere else looks like zone. This looks like he's playing over the top. We get someone running out, look like they're matching the number 3. We've got a middle field player. So you've got this combo coverage and it looks like punt block here, right? Now, it's not birds on a fence, so it doesn't look like you're going to get full zero, even though they have the display of it here as far at the line of scrimmage, because normally you'll say, hey, all these guys will be across like this, all in the same layer. But because they're kind of staggered like this, you're probably going to get some sort of zone pressure. And right here, it's a unique combo coverage, and we get a chunk on 3rd and 8. It's a really nice job from Desmond Ridder. That's a big-time play call. Again, check his base out at the top. 1, 2, 3, boom. No heel click. Guess what? It's perfect right on him. Big-time catch. Protect yourself. That's a hell of a third down conversion. It's great scheme. It's great execution. It's good decision-making, accuracy, timing, rhythm. Let's go. Next one here, 1st and 5 from the 32. We're going to try to throw a wheel to Pitts, the number 3, going down the boundary. I think this is a beautiful throw. Now, I don't know if the defender gets his hand on it or not. You probably see it from the broadcast. I'm not watching the broadcast. But this is a beautiful throw. A back shoulder wheel to the field off play action, 5-step. Again, beautiful base. Look at this ball location. That is perfect. Again, maybe the defender makes a nice play. Good for him. But that ball is perfect. It sure looks like it could be caught. I'm not sure he would keep his feet in bounds regardless. But this is a hell of a throw. And again, I'm really enjoying the design here with this play action game. I'm used to calling this like an iteration of dagger here, dagger-ish. And then we're going to get to that wheel right here. Now, it's not my favorite wheel route in the world, just as far as how he runs it. But at the end of the day, a linebacker type versus this guy, I'm all about it. Let's give him a chance. And I think sometimes this Falcon offense can just give some of these big guys, 5 and 8 specifically, chances on the perimeter to make a play. And more often than not, they're probably going to. But y'all, back shoulder wheel to the field. Yes, please. That's a hell of a throw. I love it. It's almost like a heat check throw. Because he's, again, to me, this plays to his type of strength. Driving the ball in that middle tier, consistent. That is beautiful. Whoo, my goodness. So close. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I sincerely appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for doing that. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member. Link is in the video description. We also have Quarterback School courses. Now, these courses are the premium content available through the channel. These are deep, deep dives on all of my favorite football topics. RPOs, tempos, pass protection. The best-selling course is How to Beat Every Coverage. We even have an entire offensive system and structure available for you. So get over there, check out the courses, and enroll. We also have a bunch of free resources available, also linked in the video description. Finally, make sure to follow me across social media platforms. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. So the next one here, a little 2x2 naked keeper to the right up top. And Desmond Ridder does a great job of putting 51 in a blender and then keeping his eyes downfield to find the over. This is a hell of a play from Desmond Ridder. If he can be this guy in space with the more consistent driving the ball down the field middle tier, this is nice. He puts 51 in a blender, and 51 can play. He's a dude out there. So this is a hell of a play from Desmond Ridder. I love the fact that it breaks down a little bit as much as anything. So what is this play? To me, this is just a naked. So we're coming out, faking right here, talk about all the time, have a plan, worst case scenario. Well, worst case scenario is not that bad here because you have a tight end here who's securing the edge. Now he takes an L, and that's why you have 51 in your face eventually. but he's not in your lap like you see sometimes. So we come out of this thing, coming downhill. We've got 5 on the super shallow flat, and then we've got the tight end type going on the kind of over, and that's where we eventually find him. So once we get out in space here, we got to put a move on 51. We set it, get underneath it, but we don't just run. We keep our eyes downfield, and we're able to find that over. Again, impressive for me. I don't think of this as like Desmond Ridder necessarily like strength, but he can move around. He can run it a little bit. He's just not as, what I would classify as like dynamic as some of the other guys that do it probably at a higher level at the position. It doesn't mean that he's not a great athlete. I mean, 51 is an outstanding football player. He barely touches him. And we keep our eyes downfield and we find him number to number on the body on the break. Big, big play. Next one here, another big play action chunk down here to the bottom. We're going to get Pitts again on what I'm going to call the sail. This time it's with that flag or deep V. I think the spacing is not great here, but the throw, the hookup, obviously 8's having himself a day. What an idea. Get that guy the ball down the field. I love it. Again, it's not perfect, but Desmond Ridder throws a really nice ball. Again, that tweener-driven mid-tier ball, and is able to put it right on him. So what is the play? The play to me here is what I'm used to calling a deep flag. So you set that to the back pylon, and we'll talk about that route with where the ball ends up going on this one I'm going to call sail. And then the fake ghost motion around, that ends up creating that. We talk about all the time, the 3 layers here on one side of the field. So this route to the bottom, for me, this 5 here to me doesn't quite understand the spacing of this, because he's running this like he's going to win and like come out flat, as opposed to running it with kind of the objective of the play to stretch the field and probably set that deeper. Because when he comes out, what I'm going to call flat like he's going to win, he muddies the picture for Pitts. And so when he comes out with what I'm guessing is the right depth, they're almost like too close together here. So just the spacing and the landmarks for what we're doing probably right here at the number 1, probably not exactly what they want, but good enough. Certainly good enough, and it's a hell of a throw. Big time hookup again. Very similar route. We've seen him hit now a few times in this game. That's a big body, dude. Those 2 big bodies running down the field. Pretty awesome. Right on him, on the chest. Great throw from Desmond Ridder. Again, I like just a little flash fake. Just try to stay in some element of rhythm. Let Pitts win down the field. Again, if we're just being super critical of the footwork, you know what I want to say. The think. And again, it's an impressive throw because who is at the center and the right guard take an L right in front of Ridder. So he sees color flash right there. He's got to hang in there, make that throw, and he drives it right on him. Next one, I left this one on here because this to me is mesh railroad, and this to me is Desmond Ridder getting to number 4 in the progression, which I always love to see, especially in a real game. Now, obviously the turnover sucks, and this is quarterback school, not fumble school, but we obviously got to have him hold on to the ball. But not only is it a fumble and it's a bummer, but Desmond Ridder gets through 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll talk about how he does it. But watch this tackle at the end. Desmond Ridder, the football player. So he misses the first one right there. Doesn't quit. You can see him. Hold up now. You can see him right here. The ball's on the ground. He's running towards it. He doesn't make the tackle. Okay? He goes off the screen. Okay? He goes off the screen. Somebody's got to tackle him. Where's the help? Boom. Right at the hip. I mean, all I'd add is maybe come in there with a punch on the ball. Probably don't want to hurt your hand either. That's a hell of a tackle, y'all. Football player, I love to see this stuff on the film. Love it. So this play, to me, is what most people call mesh railroad. Or I should say mesh, and I call it mesh railroad. I think a lot of people call it mesh railroad. The rail is right here. That's usually number 1. The number 2 is usually the underneath part of the mesh coming to you. It's almost always paired with a deep hook over the ball, and then the other mesh coming over the top and settling over here. And you read this thing, when I say read it 1, 2, 3, 4, it's often 1, 2, 3, 4. And you read that thing right to left. And that's it. And to see somebody get to 4 is pretty rare, unless it's 7 on 7. So not only is it nice pass protection, but it's a great read. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see him, his time clock kind of ran out on him, so he started moving. But then to not quit right here, watch 9 at the bottom of the screen. I mean, he thinks the play is essentially over. He's getting blocked into the Gatorade. The guy on defense, who now is on offense for the Texans, he quits. He stops blocking him. He's like, oh, I don't want to get a penalty. 51. My guy, 51. Go make the tackle. You got to keep blocking. 5-1. You got football players over there. 9 leading the offense in tackles, perhaps. But again, just watch the kind of backwards action. So 1 to the rail, no. Mesh, no. Deep hook, no. Other side of the mesh, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. And then not to quit. So the ball gets punched out. We don't quit. We're a football player. Someone's got to make the tackle. Oh, boom. That'll weigh 9. Next one here, touchdown pass. A little shovel screen to the back here. This is a beautiful play call. And 7 does 39 absolutely dirty in space here. Catch that thing on your back hip. It's not the greatest shovel in the world. We'll talk through the technique of this thing as well. But first of all, let's just appreciate the catch from the back more than anything else. The shovel on the back hip, we one-hand it and pin it against our hip. So where's this ball? Whoop. Okay, the other thing to pay attention to is watch the center and the right guard fold this thing. So center's going to block the guy who's got the back. There it is. Boop. 1 for 7 versus 39. Tackling drill. Ball's on his rear. I mean, the ball is like crawling up his back there. Oh my goodness. I mean, that looks like a crossover if you've ever seen one. Yo. Oh, dirty. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Now, the technique thing for me here is I prefer to just almost underhand flip this thing right-handed, you'll see sometimes. It's not as fast, but it's a little bit like you feel like you have a little bit more control. And so just the technique here of it, acknowledging the fact that it's a great play call, okay, is once you set it right here, I personally think sometimes it's easier to underhand flip it, and then you like spin it underhand. So take your right hand and just kind of throw it underhand, as opposed to some guys are comfortable left hand flipping it. I think it's harder than taking your right hand right here when your hands are together like this and just underhand spinning it right here. Just as far as whatever your preference is, I actually think it hides the ball a little bit better as well to underhand spin it. But you'll see guys do different technique, even on like a power shovel. You see a lot as well. But that's a hell of a play from 7. That is just a ridiculous move. Wow. Right on cue, the next play, 2-point conversion, power shovel. This time, this is just a C-gap defender read. The C-gap crashes into the pulling guard. We got to go to the flat. It's essentially an iteration of spread triple. So that's a lot of words to say we threw a flat. But what happens here is you're reading the C-gap defender. He crashes into the pulling guard. Now we now have to throw it on the flat. Looks like they're running like an iteration of spot out there. I'm not sure if I would have 7 out there doing what he's doing. But this play, okay, so this is a lot going on here. So I'll try to go as quick as I can. We're reading this player right here, C-gap player. It's essentially power read. Okay, power read is you read it, the back's over here, he comes across, and you shuffle, and you read this guy, and if he is going to tackle the back, then the quarterback just pulls it and runs power up here. Well, we don't want to run our quarterback power inside the tackles. So instead, we do power read, where now he takes the place of the quarterback. So he's running the power, but instead of doing the bash action, we're going to run a flat. So he becomes the pitch man. So the quarterback still reads the same player. It's the same play for the quarterback in the offensive line. So if he gets up the field at all, then we're just going to shovel it to the sniffer. If he crashes down hard, which he does, and he falls into the pulling guard, right? We're pulling the left guard. So that pulling guard is trying to avoid this guy. He wants to block this guy right here. So once he's collisioned, the quarterback has no choice. The quarterback's got to continue on this path and hope that the flat is there. Now, it looks like it's paired with what I would call a spot and a corner. Okay, the only thing I would add here detail-wise, and again, this is a lot for this guy, rookie. First of all, he's spread out wide running a spot for a 2-point play. Whatever, your choice. But in a perfect world, you would love this guy to come in here and set a pick on whoever he thinks has the back. So probably the third defender would be the easy way to classify it. So come in here and run this kind of spot route to try to get in this guy's way where he's going to be running, as opposed to get in here and try to win with your feet in the end zone. So just watching the route down here to the bottom to start, it's not a real true pick or rub, probably because he's never done that before in his life. He gets a rub because the corner kind of gets in the way there, and that creates the space, but the spot route himself is not doing it. Now let's watch the defensive end, the C-gap player, 51, crash right into the left guard. Boom. That's an easy read. Nice job from Desmond Ridder. Nice catch as well. Below the waist. Big time 2-point conversion. Let's go. They certainly needed that 2-point conversion as well. Win by 2. Again, really easy read. I mean, that's as easy as you'll ever see as far as the C-gap player just hard crashing on power shovel. Boop. Let's go. Next one here. Just giving our guy 5 a shot up top. Sometimes you just got to throw the ball down the field. Good things happen. No foul balls. Give your guy a shot. He goes up, catches it right on top of his head. Let's go. Again, play action. Block it up. Nice pass protection. Again, I don't necessarily think there's a whole lot of space to drop that thing in. It's more of, hey, our guy is just bigger than their guy. Let's give him a shot. When he goes to throw this thing, I mean, I don't necessarily think he's throwing a back shoulder here. I think he's just trying to give him a shot. Got one-on-one outside the numbers. Our guy's bigger than your guy. Go make a play. And he does. And they seem to do. You just want to see this more often. And you certainly never want to see those foul balls we saw maybe earlier in the season. So right here, give him a shot. Good things happen. Penalty, big play. Big play right here. Let's go. Next one here. One of my sneaky best reps of the day for Desmond Ridder. I love his eye control here. He really IFs 39 and just is able to hold him as that thief in the middle of the field. Hold him, snap, and then put it right on him. This looks like double choice. Again, don't know for sure. Maybe it is London running a true kind of quick out here. But if this concept right here where the ball ends up going, we're going to come up here and just this in versus outside leverage, man coverage, middle field closed, easy to see, right? Closed, outside leverage, great. Well, this player right here, that's that thief. He's just going off the quarterback's eyes. Desmond Ridder does a fabulous job of hitting that back foot and staring right down the middle of the field. And then he snaps to that in. Boom. So don't give anything away. We're not staring at anything. This looks super polished. Okay, this looks like it's paired with what I would call, it ends up being a quick out. I hope it's a choice. It looks like we're getting a choice here as well. I think it's paired with a corner up top. But this is outstanding third down offense. Lots of multiple runaways, great quarterback play, IFing a linebacker type. Boom. I mean, look at the footwork. Look how precise it is. Almost robotic, like boom, boom. I mean, that's legitimately outstanding quarterback play. Third down, fourth quarter, big first down. Let's go. And really, it's even better from behind here. Just watch the shoulder control. Look off, flip. And again, you can see what it does to 39. 39 can't move. I mean, you can see the backer type and the free safety. They're on Ridder's eyes. Not moving. Boom. Snap it back. I mean, if anything, look, he gets the free safety to run the other way. That's an awesome play. Last one here. Under a minute left, fourth quarter. Down 1. Big dagger up top versus Cloud. Throwing it with anticipation. Big chunk to give them an opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal. This is an outstanding throw, man. This is great quarterbacking. We get a grounder of a snap as well. Holy moly, nice play blocking that thing. Stay in rhythm and throw that with anticipation off that snap. Y'all, this is a massive play. So what is this play? To me, this is just an iteration of a really slow, clear, I guess, question mark. And it almost like muddies into the same window because it's so slow. But that right there with the deep in, thrown with great anticipation after a grounder snap. Pretty awesome. I mean, it really is. With everything that's on the line, where they are in the game, watch this thing. I'll pause it right at the top. He lets it go right there. I mean, look at that in is not into the in yet. And again, versus Cloud, not sure exactly what that hook defender is doing over the number 2. Flat-footed, terrible drop. But man, that is a beautiful job from the quarterback. Big, massive hookup to give yourself a chance. 25 gets no depth, and you just put it right over his head. And again, you can see 8 not doing a great job of clearing it out there. I'm sure he's gassed at the end of the game, but come on, dog. But that is a beautiful throw. My goodness, what a play. So that is a wrap. Desmond Ridder, the Falcons, nice fourth quarter win there. Lots to like from Desmond Ridder. Really impressed with his consistent ability to drive the ball to that kind of deeper middle tier. I really enjoyed how they used Pitts, how they took some shots down the field, their play action, even saw some innovation. And when you couple that with Ridder's ability to run it a little bit and showed some flashes of creating out of structure, keeping plays alive, making people miss with the talent that they have on that perimeter, with the running backs, with the big perimeter guys at tight end and wide receiver, you can see the bones of kind of what they're trying to do. Now you just need to do it consistently like that. And I felt like they were more aggressive down the field, which added to it as well. But Desmond Ridder was on point. He was precise. He was surgical. He was putting the ball where he wanted to. He was decisive. He was getting it out quickly. A lot to like. Really good game from Desmond Ridder. Fired up for that one. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.